What we believe will cause us to heal, to prosper, to advance, to fail, to destroy, and to live a miserable life. Because that is how powerful belief is. When we read the scriptures and we hear about the power of Jesus, the one thing I would hear him say a lot is, if you believe it, you can receive it. Your faith has healed you, has made you whole. It's your belief. See, what Jesus understood was the human frame. He was very familiar with it. He knew how to use the mind, the body, to reach into a spiritual world and perform miracles in this dimension. And he wanted us to grab a hold of that information and continue to not only read about it, be inspired by it, get hope from it, but literally take the tools that he left, pick them up, and use them. See, the reason why we're having so many catastrophic things to occur in our environment, yes, we can say it's the devil, but the reason why, though, is because people's belief system has been altered. It's been altered based on what they're looking at, what they're reading, what they're hearing, and what the mind is sincerely doing. See, the mind has the power to fuel your body in such a way that it stirs up an emotion, and that emotion will cause us to react in ways that's going to get us closer to the will of God for everyone's life, or further away from the will of God. See, it's the goal of the enemy for you not to believe, for you to be held captive by your circumstances, for you to listen to the inner voices inside to encourage you to not believe, to think negative, so that you will always experience a negative outcome. But if you believe, like Jesus told us to believe, then you can sincerely say to a mountain in your life, and it will be moved. It doesn't take much belief, though. He said just the amount of a mustard seed can move a mountain in your life, because that is how powerful belief is, because belief will release serotonin in your brain to produce an emotion that's linked to something good or something not so good that will show up in your life. I want to give you a fact. According to scientificamerican.com, when you believe, activity appears in an area called the ventromedial prefrontal cortex of the brain, which is associated with emotions, rewards, and self-representation. It also functions in emotion regulation by encoding emotional stimuli and by regulating anxiety and fear extinction. It uses our emotional reactions to model our behavior and control emotional reactions in certain social situations. If it is damaged, if the ventromedial prefrontal cortex is damaged, it will reduce intentional judgment, meaning you will be less able to follow tasks, instructions, and make accurate moral judgment about target actions. See, it's the goal of your enemy, like I said, to alter your belief, because he understands that your belief will light up the portion in your brain called the ventromedial prefrontal cortex, which is associated with your emotions. Your emotions is your energy in motion. And it goes out ahead of you and it connects to a invisible field around you to produce an outcome. What are you believing tonight, membership group? Are you believing in what God says about you? Are you believing everything that you see on the news? Are you believing that your circumstances define you? Are you believing that if you had just this mustard seed faith, that you can move a mountain in your life? Do you believe that you can change your life? Do you believe what God has said about you? Do you believe that if you literally renew your mind and really allow Christ consciousness to penetrate to the neuroreceptors, which would translate into the neurotransmitters in your brain that will originate the emotion that you need to produce and anchor your faith, because we know it's impossible to please God if we don't have it. So as you go on about your night tonight, I want you to really sincerely think about your core beliefs. What do you think about your life? I want you to get a pen and a paper out tonight. And I want you to be honest with yourself and sincerely sit and think about, what do I believe about me, about my life? What do I believe? Do I believe I can change it? Do I believe what God is saying about me? Do I believe that I can really experience peace, normalcy, healthy relationships, great connections? Do I believe that? Whatever it is, I want you to write it down and really sit with that tonight. Pray about it, talk to God about it, and really resolve issues with Him. Because if you believe that God can do great things for you, He will show up and produce a miracle for you tonight. I love you guys. Peace. Bye.